on my new bar from Supreme Bars from New Zealand. In order for them to ship it, they had to take the tip off. So if you've ever done your own bars, you've got to put this on a flat surface and you got to pound this to make this flush. So there's a couple different ways to do this. You got to make sure that your rivet is in. Make sure that's as flush as possible first, right? Which it is. But this is the side, yeah, I can feel it. It's actually loose. Look, friends. Do you guys have you ever done this, friends? So I used to have a piece of wood that I would use to knock it out, because this can get knocked right out. Here's one way to do it. You line this up and you can actually pop this out. I have more rivets, so I'm not worried about it. It goes in one way, which you can see what way it goes in. It goes in this side, see? But on this side, you got to smack that out so it mushrooms out. Yeah, this side's flush. So what I like to do is go like this. Just make sure we're in there nice and flush, right? We are. And then I flip this sucker over on a hard surface. You can see it, friends. I do both sometimes. And if you're concerned that you're going to be catching, oh, she's solid as a rock now. So mash them in there. Make sure you mash them in there. Solid. Let's go. And if you want, what you can do, friends, is you can even file this down. You want your stuff running smooth. Just file her down. Make her smooth. Oh, yeah. Now we're rocking. Let's go give this sucker a run, friends. I'm excited. Let's go put that bar on this 90, friends. So shout out to Donnie Walker and Chance. I love you, boys. And another shout out to Johnny Walker. Friends, Johnny Walker gave me his personal tool that tunes the 90s. Do you guys know the deal with the 90s? It's a glorious day, friends. It's good to be alive. It's good to be anywhere in this world right now. Anywhere. ProLite Supreme Bar. Very, very excited about this right here. Well, we're not going to get much sharper than this, friends. This saw is ready to go. We're going to cut big wood with it. With this new, if anybody's not familiar with what this is, friends, this is a company out of New Zealand, Supreme ProLite, made in New Zealand. They even put my little logo on there. Wasn't that nice of them? Shaboom, shabang, shaklickety clickety clang. You know it is. Now, here's the deal. We're running ground chain. Let's see if I can get funky with this today to let you know what we're running. We're running square. Oregon EXL. Okay, friends, we're just going to hit our rakers here. I use this thing. I use the Carlton. I don't run hungry rakers. This is the hard setting. I don't know if you can see it or not. I'm just going over them because I just freshly ground the chain. So I want smoothity. This is a good buddy of mine's place. He's in the firewood business. He's done phenomenal at firewood. He works at a mill that has firewood all the time. He buys firewood. He understands that it's all about the firewood. These are long butts, friends. So if you folks ask us why we high stump or why we don't cut stumps on the ground, because this is what happens when you're selling select. There's two markets, friends, here, okay? There's a domestic market and an import market. Well, import market, they don't want flares. They don't want little bits of root rot. This has all been hand felled. You can see the hinge wood. That literally, friends, was cut to a select log. So is that. These are all long butts, every single one of them. So everything's different. for us, friends, here. Here's another, just a monster piece of firewood. But that was a long butt on a log that didn't make select. It had a little sweep in it, and there was probably a continued sweep in the log. So they knock 4 feet off it and they sell it as a select straight bone straight log. For you guys in the States, it's different. You need all that bottom wood. So friends, on this channel, you may learn things or understand things in a different way here on many other channels, because I'm going to start falling hardwood. I'm going to learn the hardwood market, the veneer market. I'm going to come and cut with people who I like and who are humble, hardworking, and have YouTube channels. That I don't care if they have YouTube channels. The last fella didn't have a YouTube channel, but I like to bring light to people as well who are in the industry and working hard in the logging industry or the tree industry. So you're gonna see very interesting things on this channel going forward. My plan is to travel around and cut with folks, as you guys have seen me do. So I'm gonna throw a hard hat on. I'm gonna fuel up this 90, and we are gonna dig in with this brand new bar, and we're gonna start testing this bar. I made a terrible mistake. I didn't bring my tuning jet, because I have a tuning jet for this saw now, and I left it at home. So hopefully I'm all right, friends. You know what I'm saying there, friends around the, we got my bark cleaning axe, because I am not going to cut rocks. I'm not doing it. There's a great big stinking log right there. But guess what, friends? I'm not gonna cut rocks. I don't mind taking time, friends, to do things properly. I just don't care. You'll catch me doing it all the time. I'll make room for stuff. That's just how I roll. Like this here has to come this way. I want to buck this great big log. Has it got rocks in it? Well, we don't know yet. But we're not gonna be playing around here. You guys see what I'm talking about? Here. You get me? I'm literally in no hurry. You need space when you're cutting firewood. This here, I'd like to buck that, but I'm not bucking that unless that goes. And the rest of this will come down too. So we're gonna get into some big wood. There's a little bit of grit and grime here to open up space, friends. Because if you don't have space, you're gonna back yourself up. See what's happening here now? Look at the space I've got. I've worked around a lot of freaking piles. You see what I'm doing here? I'm creating space, but guess what? When that great big dirty log right there, that one, when it comes out of there, it is gonna be in the air and I will be able to buck that. Trust me, friends, on this one. I have a method to my madness. And what I might do is I might stick this guy right like this. So that's a nice log right there. So here's a nice bit of fur to nibble into. You can terribly injure yourself, friends. See that? I'm gonna butt this and we're gonna open this up. Right like that. It's gonna roll down onto this guy. You guys want to see something? Well, I'm about to show you. I'm going to tell you something. See these boots right here? I just had a log roll on my toe. Look at it. Look at it. It just rolled on my toe. That one, as a matter of fact. That one right there. It rolled on my toe, and guess what? Look at it. Nothing. It protected my toe because it's a double celastic toe. I'm not joking, you friends. Okay, this is straight goods business here. I'm not playing around. You can get hurt here real quick. But look at that. What's that? Are we cutting that? No, we're not. We're not cutting that. Of course we're not. So here's the deal. What happens? What happens, friends? Let's go to where our bucks are. which is right here. This is one buck. This is stable, should be. Don't turn your back on nothing. Look at this one now. Look at this. This thing can roll. It can roll now. So let's do this. Right like this. So if that decided to roll, that's gonna stop that, because we got some log cleaning to do. So here's our first buck. Right there. It's either that or you're on the power saw, filing it. You guys know this deal. There's another buck right there. And then here. This is kind of rotten here now, but we're still gonna buck it. There we are, we're clean. Good. So now this can go back. This can go back here now. And we're gonna get 3 pieces of firewood out of this. And we'll cut that off. 3 monster pieces of firewood right here. You guys getting me? It actually doesn't look bad, friends. I'm actually gonna take a chance on this now. We got space now.
Boom. Hey, real quick shout out. I don't wear a lot of ball caps, friends, but for some reason this high front like this is a nice ball cap. I want to thank ArborTech. ArborTech is the company, friends, that the pants I wear, the bucking pants, the saw pants. Not chaps, power saw pants. And ArborTech is who I use for that. So they sent me a little box of goodies there yesterday. You guys didn't have to do that, but thank you so much. Friends, the interjection here is to reiterate what I'm doing here right now. You can get backed up so fast, and I'm so passionate about this and so serious about cleaning the wood and prepping your site before we all want to get on the saw. We're so excited. I used to be like that. And I would either hit a rock or, a shortcut would get me. And there I would be bent over filing the power saw when all it would have took is 10 minutes of prep work. And now I'm away to the races. I can't stress this enough, friends. In this game especially, did you see that log roll on my boot? That happened to me wearing a soft toe boot one time. And I used the word vulnerable. I feel vulnerable in a soft-toed boot. So keep your eye on whites. They're going to be coming out with the bucking boot at some point here. I'm not sure exactly when, but people have been asking. And keep an eye out. These are tanks of boots. Anyway, I just wanted to reiterate that. Friends, keep your site clean and prepped. And don't turn your back on these piles.
saw is nuts. See what we gotta do here? We gotta straighten that out. Gotta cut that hinge wood off there. See those big rounds there? Got 3 of them out of there. You can see what he's cutting. He's cutting all the same. That's about 12. But I chose to get 3 of those instead of 2 and a big chunk. You get what I'm saying? 14. That's 14 inches. But now we gotta move it, friends. This big wood, very big wood. Okay, so I tuned that saw at the house and it's a monster now. I gave it like a teeny bit of high jet. I cranked it a little bit in high jet and it's got a serpent muffler on it and it is absolutely bell bonkers. Now, there's a bit of cleanup on the end of that log. See, that's perfect size firewood for him right there. But I'm cutting all the hinge wood off and cleaning it up for him and not leaving him some horrible mess. These are big rounds. Just like that last one I did. I cleaned it up a little bit because did you notice how I was cutting that thing, friends, on an angle like this, not straight out in front of me? You had to judge your angle. That's why you get stuff like this. See that? This was before or whatever. Like he's like that right there. Like, right? You know, skinny on one end, but there's a reason for it. It's all big and crazy wood, but look at our hole. Look at our hole. Just never turn your back on one of these piles unless you've got place things in order like that right there. That will save your life. It'll save you a broken leg, a 911 call, just that simple little move. And all this that I'm doing here. We're going after this thing now. We're gonna do a little stand up and buck. I'm gonna clean this log up. It's a good sized log, probably, I don't know, it looks like 24-inch log. And we're gonna carry on with this 90. Glorious wood. It is a little dirty, so we got square ground chain, but I'm just dancing through it. I'll buck. I'll sometimes go along, friends, and I'll buck. See, this is holding it here, I think. Yeah, it is. This piece of wood's holding me here. But here's the deal. I want to share something with you. If I right now move that piece of wood, guess where I'm going? I'm losing my roll. There's rocks in behind me. I'm not going uphill. So if I just decide to grab my axe and kick that out of there, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to roll down into the hole and I'll have nowhere to go. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. But I'd be a fool to just fire up. So now this is a nice log. So this is all this takes. Just like this. Right? There's our next buck. I think you guys got me, don't you? Okay, we're going to talk about something, you and I. I'm still sharp. It's been 1 hour since I turned the camera on. 1 hour. I've spent no time sharpening a chain. I did spend time moving and preparing. The time spent moving and preparing is going to save you. Look, that's rocks. This is rocks. All this is rocks. There's another rock. And look, right in line with my buck. Look, friends, I'm not kidding. Right in line with a great big stone right there. And another freaking rock right there. So I'm trying to help people that I see on the internet bucking firewood and working in these big, dangerous piles. You dig in, you make it safe. They'll get you. You turn your back. The reason I turned my back there is because I spent time prepping before we even got in here.
Friends, do you know what's crazy about this stuff? Is I was just saying to Luke that I actually enjoy the process. I'm in the journey. I'm not in a hurry. I am at peace. I haven't said that for a long time, but we say that on this channel. And it is one of my mantras when I'm feeling a little angst, maybe in traffic or just in life in general. I am not in a hurry. And how I do it is I breathe in and I say the words, I am not in a hurry. As I breathe in, I am not in a hurry. I am at peace. And I will do that 3 times with my breathing. It will blow your mind, the results that come from that silly little thing. But that's only if you want to, right? If you want results, you will get them. I always say if you want to do something more than you don't want to do something, whether it be quit drinking or something else in your life, if you want to do it more than you don't want to do it, you will do it. That's simple, isn't it? Just like prepping the wood site. I'm always concerned about the next person touching the wood or seeing my work. That's what logging is. You're not getting called back if your timber's freaking crissity-crossity and smashed up and your stumps are... You're just not getting the call back. So I've talked about these things on my channel for many, many years. Firewood is such a noble exercise. You're bringing people their heat, their comfort. When you come to someone's freaking house with a load of wood, they get excited. People are like, oh, here's my wood. I hope it's dry. I hope there's enough there. I hope I'm not getting shorted. You're always working for yourself. you're always working for yourself. So if you're ripping people off, you're ripping yourself off. You get me? If you're taking the shortcuts, you will pay for that. So I'm at the point in my life now where I'm not in a panic. I'm not in a hurry. I'm engulfed in the process and the journey. So I can't stress how important these little steps are in this game. But I do want to say this as I end this video. Friends, I did have a log roll over on my, I was wearing my Knicks, actually. I was wearing my Knicks. Or was it, it was one of them, fellers. And friends, I almost broke my toe. I squashed it. Very same situation. So I'm in these piles and these things all the time like this. That's why I wear, and this one is a double Solastic. This is a beautiful boot. And I hope Whites comes up with it soon. I know they're busy. It's Christmas time and all that. But Whites, we're rooting for you. The bucking boot will come, friends. Stay patient. Work hard. Be honest. And thank you so much for viewing my videos. We appreciate you all so very much. Be kind. See you on the next one.